episode number 22. My name is Michael Watson. I'm one of the co-founders of Wikid Publishing, and I'm joined today by a couple of the creators here at our company. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good.
Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Can I ask you a name-related question?
Sure.
Did you get a lot of Sherlock jokes growing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
What is the classic one? I'm trying to recall off the top of my head that I always get. It's
Elementary, my dear Watson.
yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I bet you got that a lot in elementary school.
Yeah, elementary school, a little bit less than high school, but still,
Yeah.
people. It's funny because I think because of that show or the series, books, whatever.
Yeah.
People just always call me Watson in high school. Like
Okay.
I don't think anybody called me by my first name. Pretty much everyone just called me Watson.
That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely got that a lot. But I always I thought it was pretty cool because I always liked Sherlock Holmes and stuff growing up. So I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's actually a more common name than you would think. There's a lot of Michael Watsons.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I actually worked in the same building with another Michael Watson.
Hmm.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'm Jeremy Lott. I'm the creator of Movie Men, which has begun shipping from Wikid, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Which we are shipping out now.
Yeah.
Woo! And then we also have a Wrath creator with us.
Yeah, Scott Kish. I'm the writer-creator of a up-and-coming series called Wrath. We launch our Indiegogo on the 16th, so that's just a little over 2 weeks away.
Nice, man. That's going to be so cool. I cannot wait for you guys.
And
you got the new artists on it.
Yeah, we've got the new page artist, and then we've still got some stuff coming from the original artist, Drew. She's still part of the project as well. So we're going to have a standard cover from her and some more concept pieces.
Cool. Nice, man. Are you gonna be doing trying to get you on some live streams and stuff?
Yeah, put out a tweet yesterday.
Good.
Hearing back from some people, and I've already started reaching out. I think I've already set up one of the interviews with the Indie Comic Showcase again. Cool. He was totally cool with me coming back. So it'll be a different set of questions, I'm sure, this time. Probably about relaunching and what goes into that.
Is it John you're dealing with?
I can't remember which one it is.
There's John or Chris, I think, are the ones that do it now.
Interesting.
I think it used to be just John, but they sort of tag team it now.
Nice. I'll try and help reach out to some people to see if we can get you on some different stuff. I know Meeting in the Minds might be a good one to jump on.
Yep. I've already talked to Cody as well, the creator of the Ironverse. He's excited about having me on his show.
Cool. Oh, nice. Good.
So yeah, there's another one, and then we've always got the Wikid launch and the closing one too as well. So it's just figuring out who wants to go with me and who's willing to have me. But yeah, I want to definitely hit the streaming service. That was.
But yeah, I think if you put yourself out there, I think a lot of the streamers will be pretty willing to have you on their show. I think a lot of them are pretty nice about that stuff. They want to promote people's work. They want to get it out there. So
yeah. Plus, I mean, you've got a rage puppy.
This is.
Scott, are you cutting out or? We've got a Scott down. I think his rage puppy just tore him up.
Oh man, I hate
tore him a new one.
I hate those rage puppy attacks. They're the worst.
Oh man, but well, Scott hopefully gets his technical difficulties. I did mention he had some mic issues, so maybe his wireless mic's messing up. But in the meantime, you want to talk a little about Movie Men shipping out?
Yeah, that's a good. So yeah, I mean, you guys have been dealing with most of the shipping stuff. Can you tell me how it's going?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's been going good. We've started shipping this week. We're getting out books every day. We're gonna be shipping out. I'll be shipping out a few more today as well.
Okay.
After the podcast.
Cool.
But yeah, the process is going well. We're getting people their prints. Mm-hmm. Seems to be going well. I'll be excited. We're using a media mail service, and that can take, I believe, what is it, 2 to 9 days to ship. So it's a little bit variable depending on where they are. So it'll be interesting to see when we start to see some of those coming in and actually first starting to see the pictures.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a few like you sent some stuff to. Did you send some stuff directly, or are you using a media mail service for all of it?
Let me think about that. Am I using a media? You know what? Maybe did we decide to use a first class after all? And then I think about it. I think maybe we ended up doing the first class. I think actually because we
Okay.
used the smaller envelopes,
Okay. All
which
right.
I was using a media mail because they were the large ones.
Yeah.
So no, actually I take that back. You're right. We ended up doing first classes, which is 1 to 3 days. So
Okay.
they should be getting it much sooner than that.
Because I think even Scott had gotten his.
Oh, I actually gave Scott the proof copy, that
Okay.
extra proof copy that came in.
Yeah. No. But he got his
Oh, he
the
got his. Oh, you're right. He did. He got his
just for a thing on the private
yeah.
chat here that said confirm first class.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. It's early.
Okay.
But no, you're right. Yeah, that's right. So he did it. So
For
people are
people,
getting their stuff already.
we haven't had our coffee yet.
Yes, exactly. It's unfortunately not. Brett always gets his coffee in on time, I notice, but he's very strategic about that. But no, yeah. So you're right. So we are using the first class. I forgot. I believe it's Jack Irons that we're using the media mail for because we have a bit of a larger envelope.
Yeah.
That's why I got it confused.
Understandable. My
Mhm.
parents actually they have a book business on Amazon where they sell used books, and
Really?
I've had to take what they just take them to the post office and queue at the counter and stuff, and so
Mhm.
I've done it for them several times over the
Oh,
years.
really? Okay.
And we're pretty good friends with the people in the local post office, and
Mm.
you know the a lot of it gets shipped media mail, but if it's small enough, it often gets shipped first class, and sometimes that's even cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes
Oh, I
that's.
didn't know you could do that. I've just been using stamps.com.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you could
I mean, you can use
finagle things.
too. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that you can just go
It's an interesting idea. Yeah.
and do that. They but yeah, they'll like weigh this stuff, and then the postal workers they'll say, "Oh, we should probably do this one first class because it's cheaper or as cheap or within spitting distance." Okay,
Mhm.
sure, go for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it's what's interesting for I think is for me mail is it's they actually have really strict criteria,
Yeah,
and technically they don't allow comic books to be shipped using media mail because there is an assumption by the United States Postal Service that all comics have advertising, what they call interstitials. I think
mhm,
is what the word was,
yeah,
and they don't allow that. No advertising can be shipped through media mail. But
yeah,
our comics don't contain advertising, so I
yeah.
mean, but the risk is that they'll look at a comic and say, "I don't care if it doesn't have advertising. It's a comic. It has advertising."
Yeah,
No.
it just depends there because you can shove a certain there are actually stated internal regulations that are still available to the public that
Mm-hmm.
you can point them in to their own regulations and say, no, actually, you guys do allow this if it doesn't have advertising, and they'll back down,
Mm.
but it can cause it doesn't like I've talked to a lot of people who've done comic books and they say like once in a while something gets opened up but it's pretty rare. So
Really,
it's not like a whole
that's
shipment gets
good.
opened up. Usually, it's like one or two
That's good to
comics.
hear. Yeah,
Yeah. So
because yeah, that's what I was scared of happening. Huh.
no, I mean, it can happen. It's just not as prevalent as you'd think.
That's good. Yeah, yeah. Because I think the media mail in certain ways is cheaper because it has a kind of I think it's a fixed cost generally,
Hmm.
so that helps.
Yeah. So
But yeah, no, everything is going good. Um, we're getting, excuse me, we're getting them out there, and man, I actually I love the pinups. I think the printed versions came out really nice.
good. I'm
It's
looking
got
forward to getting them.
yeah. You want me to send you some?
I mean, let's just wait till you send me the batch, but because I've already seen
Okay.
them,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
but yeah, they look amazing. And the Ibai's pinup, yeah, I want to use that as the shirt for campaign number 2. So
Oh really? Is that the the Sporkman one you're gonna do?
Yes, because the big bad in that issue is that big robot.
Oh, okay. So Sporkman's gonna help him take down the robot.
That's right.
Nice. That's
Or
gonna be fun.
they'll try it and die trying.
Hey man, you got to do one or the other, right? Oh man, that'd be a depressing issue. They killed off all of the
That's
characters.
everybody dies issue.
It's like, wow, it's so soon. That was only the second issue. I was a little wasn't expecting that. That'd be like a plot twist for sure.
Do you remember Malibu Comics from the 1990s?
Malibu Comics. No, well, I don't think so.
They were the comic company that springboarded Image to start with.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And then they took a bunch of that money and invested it and had their own comics that actually got turned into cartoons and whatnot called the Malibu Ultraverse.
Oh wow.
You had characters like Prime and Hardcase, and there's a bunch of others, right? And it was actually a big deal. And if the comic industry hadn't collapsed when it did, in the sort of mid '90s, you'd still be talking about them today, probably.
Well, I was gonna say I'm looking at the Ultraverse Unlimited like a cover, wraparound cover here.
Yeah.
And it's surprising that never spawned into a movie franchise.
Yeah. No, it really had to do with the implosion of the comic book industry at the time. And thank you for that one, Marvel. But they did one series. I think it was the Exiles, but that's my memory isn't always the greatest. And they solicited like, I don't know, 6 issues of it or something. But then in issue 4, they all died. Decided, hey, we're gonna do something that you just never see, and so they all died, and then the series ended.
Jeez, that's a way to do a short run series, isn't it?
Yeah, like the
get in, get out, man.
The ultimate mini series.
No fluff, no filler, just cut right to the chase.
Yeah,
and don't leave it ambiguous. No chance for a sequel.
No, all dead. Not covered.
All dead. But yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe we'll do that. Who knows?
Wow.
I probably have to leave Sporkman alive though, just because might object.
Right. Yeah. Nothing can take down the Spork, man.
That's right.
The Spork man.
Have the power of the Spork. How do you beat that?
Right. But yeah, that's interesting. I never heard of that before. But you're right. It is kind of a thing. Like it just takes one little like tank in the industry and then gone from memory.
Oh yeah, there were so many companies that went down.
Really?
Yeah, they went down. Topps was doing some great comics, and they exited the comic industry. There was there's so many good things that just died on the vine because just all these comic stores. Well, what happened was that Marvel said we're going to distribute our own stuff, and that ended up creating this cascade of dominoes where all the distributors went down, and that's why we're getting stuck with Diamond as the sole distributor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of comic books. Yeah, that's what happened.
Scott's back.
So.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Or not. Oh man, poor Scott. He's stuck in an internal rage.
Yeah, I think this could be a good fodder though for a future issue of his comic.
Doug he can't speak. He gets trapped by one of the characters' abilities that like traps in your mind.
Yeah. Like rage with no expression.
It kind of makes me think of the way we just came up with that. Kind of makes me think of a fun exercise would be to like get a bunch of the Wicked guys together and be like, okay, everyone do a line from the comic or the plot outline, and then the next person does the next part of the plot sentence of the plot outline, and then you come up with a comic idea together. They could come up with some pretty kind of like that old game, that you'd play where you'd write a half a story and then hand it off to some random person. I used to love doing that, man. Just the funniest shit would come from that.
Yeah, there's also like a lot of writers you'll get professional writers who will do these things where you'll do a series of chapters, right? And they, sometimes they have an outline they're supposed to work with, and but often it just gets more ridiculous as it goes. Because,
Oh, that's funny.
the book I think that called Naked Came the Manatee that was like that.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be made like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or there was a book I can't remember. I think it's called The Losers. There was a book that Dave Barry wrote with Alan Zwiebel, and told from the perspective of two different characters. And the idea of this book was that the two writers are constantly throwing the other one a curveball and saying "over to you" and seeing what happens next. Right? It creates this just wonderfully outlandish book.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Sounds like an improv game almost.
Yeah, no, it's an improv game, as a book.
Nice. Oh man, yeah, that's funny.
So at some point I would love that. I think it would be great to do an improv, a sort of an improv comic.
Right, that would be fun, just as a one-shot issue.
Yeah.
And the best part would be to go and Wicked fund it and get it made.
Yeah.
And then put it out just as like a fun thing, like the Wicked. I don't even know what you call it, but Wicked Presents or something.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to bring up this since I don't think this happened. The news, this is relatively new news since we last did our podcast, which is the whole Spider-Man debacle.
Oh yeah,
leaving MCU. What I wanted to hear your thoughts on that if you have any.
Sony man.
Does whatever Sony man does.
Yeah. I don't like I don't take sides in these. I mean look, I think I've liked. I didn't see the latest Spider-Man movie. I'm going, but it's the new daughter thing. Just makes going seeing movies fun.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, everyone, if you hear screaming in the background, it's because I have a 2-month-old daughter who sometimes just lets loose.
That's okay. You and Scott are in the same boat there.
Yeah. Look, it's a tug of war between Disney and Sony, and I'm glad that in some ways I'm glad that Sony is just like, no, Disney, you don't get to have your way on everything. On the other hand, I didn't mind the one the Tom Holland movie I saw, and I think Sony just generally the kind of stuff they put out sucks. I don't mean the movies. I think those have been generally good.
Have you seen Venom?
Yeah, I liked Venom. I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but it was fun.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah, and it was a fun movie. And it had some moments where you're really laughing pretty good, where Venom was arguing and.
Tom Hardy did a pretty good job with the silliness of it. The whole
Tom Hardy. Again, you got Tom Hardy as Venom.
Yeah,
right.
That's pretty awesome.
That's great. I think Tom Holland was a decent Spider-Man, but I think Tom Hardy's a great Venom. If I was Sony, the next movie I'd do would be called like Spider-Man and Venom.
Oh my god, that'd be so amazing, dude.
Yeah,
I would definitely watch that. The two Toms, man, getting them in the movie together.
Yeah, I mean, like sort of the broader thing I have just with Spider-Man is just in the comics it hasn't been good at all. I mean, intermittently you'll find something that does something good, but like the comics have basically sucked since One More Day. So like the seed material for Spider-Man, with a lot of these comics, you at least get pretty good seed material that went on until just a few years ago. And Spider-Man, that you don't really have that, you have, my gosh, over a decade now of just awful Spider-Man comics. And so that creates a real problem for source material for what you're drawing on. So whoever's doing it, Sony, Marvel, I don't care, they've got to go much earlier in Spider-Man in order to find stuff that works in the movies.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if they'll have the know-how to be able to get that done. I
mean, the one thing I liked into the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider, whatever it was, Spider-Verse. I liked that. I thought it was pretty good, and they could put that out in the individual movies if they wanted. I would love to see the Nick Cage Spider-Man Noir. That'd be great. And they could do it as a like they did it in the animated, or they could do it live action. I'd love to see an old Nick Cage is just grizzled. I think it'd be great.
I thought
That'd
they
be
were
interesting.
working on something like that.
I don't know.
They have a Mobius coming out next year, which I'm super excited for.
Okay, yeah.
That's Jared Leto as the vampire
Yeah.
character of some sort. Then they've got Craven the Manhunter.
Yeah.
And
Craven do it.
What's that?
Who's gonna play Craven?
I'm not sure they've announced the actor for that one yet.
Right.
The only one I know confirmed for me at least was that I heard was the Mobius one.
Okay.
But it's cool. I mean, they have some interesting titles coming out in the works.
Yeah. But Scott, what would be your ideal Spider-Man spin-off movie?
Ideal Spider-Man spin-off movie?
Yeah, whatever you want. Sky's the limit.
Man, I want to see a Spider-Man 2099, to be honest.
Yes! Miguel O'Hara is my boy.
I heard they might do that. I heard Sony might do that. Like, I know they had plans for it a couple years back.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
In
That'd
fact,
be pretty awesome.
When I watched Into the Spider-Verse, I'm like, where's Spider-Man 2099? And my friend's like, oh, you got to watch the whole thing, and then you make an appearance at the end. So.
Yeah. I love how it's a Day of the Dead costume. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm also intrigued about Batman Beyond. That would definitely get my attention too.
Batman Beyond? A Batman Beyond? You say?
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant. But no. I mean, okay, never mind. I don't know. So I'm confused. I guess I'm confused. Is what I'm trying to say.
What's your confusion?
With the DC movie, because I get the Marvel movies are all technically, and the shows are all supposed to technically be part of the same universe, but how are they handling that with the DC? Are they? Because I know they're trying to focus on standalone movies, but what does that mean?
That would be Batman Beyond, because he's in the future, so he wouldn't be tied to like any of the current characters at all.
So is it just they're all different canons then? Is that it can't follow it as the same canon? Is that kind of the idea, or?
I mean, you could maybe in the sense that you could like have, like Jason Momoa, like as an old Aquaman make an appearance, but like it wouldn't really reflect current movies in the sense that you could bring him into those.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
like Bright and all that kind of, I guess.
There were some, stories after I think it was the success of Aquaman, saying that like the DCU is really not a thing anymore. Like we might have some crossovers, but
really,
we're not interested in that. That we're interested in sort of individual movies. Maybe with sequels. So there would be some continuity between them, but we're not interested in the sort of this bigger thing. We're not interested in doing what Marvel's been doing.
That's interesting take. We'll hopefully it'll work out for them. I know they tried to do the Marvel thing; it didn't necessarily work out as well. So maybe that'll work better.
And it is kind of the old style of doing it. They've been making Batman and Superman movies for decades now, and it seems to be a working formula for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I guess I find it it's just harder to necessarily follow it all when there's all these different continuities going on.
Oh yeah.
Like especially with the TV shows making it a little more muddied up. You got the Arrowverse, and then you got the DC streaming site, and you got the movies, and you got the Gotham and Penny or Wise or whatever.
Yeah, that's.
It's not saying that's not a good thing. It's just for me personally, it's hard for me to keep up with it all.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that somebody wants to find the sort of core difference between DC characters and Marvel characters is that Marvel characters are personalities and DC characters are icons. And you can sort of rework icons much easier than you can rework personalities.
Oh yeah, Matthew Reese points out it's Pennyworth. I was saying Pennywise, like the It Clown.
Well, that is coming out soon, so it's understandable.
Yeah, seriously, I got it on the mind. That's funny. But yeah, no, I see the point there. Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of, the Joker movie coming out, I know the trailer just released, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't see it yet.
Me neither.
I saw a lot of people bagging on it, but
Yeah.
I'll withhold judgment until I see the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's fair.
don't. One of the problems I have is just that there have been some really, really good Jokers, and Jack Nicholson did a great Joker. Heath Ledger did a great Joker. I'm sure someone could top it. I doubt it.
Yeah. Well, it is Joaquin Phoenix, so he's a interesting character in of himself.
Yeah. But I kind of think it'll be the role that defeats him.
It'll be the what?
Role that defeats him.
What does that mean exactly?
Like he's not up to playing the Joker at all.
Interesting.
Again, I could be wrong. That's a really high bar to clear.
Someone else on a. So sorry, go ahead, Scott.
I was gonna say it's almost as difficult as trying to voice the Joker because Mark Hamill really set that bar up there.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have Mark Hamill doing the Joker, it's kind of hard to top that. He is such a good voice actor. I loved him as the Fire Lord from Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good role, dude. So sinister. Oh man, so good. But
apparently he's in the new Dark Crystal too.
Oh yeah, that just released. Anyone gonna watch that?
I tried watching it, and the movie makes no damn sense to me so far. So I'm like, probably gonna go back and
show.
I think it's a show because it's got episodes.
Yeah.
But my main problem so far is it doesn't match up with how the original movie ended, which was you heal the crystal and then the two races combined because they were split. The show starts off with the Skeksis come in and take over the crystal, and I'm like, wait, I thought they were split, but I'm so confused. So I'm just waiting for them to try and make sense of that.
Is there? Well, I wonder if I heard there's a comic book. I wonder if it happened in the comic that took place between the movie or in the show or something.
Maybe I'm gonna finish it just to see if they can tie it in somehow, but it just seems off the bat completely on a different track than the original movie.
That's interesting. Huh.
Wow. I gotta confess, I tried watching the movie and maybe it was just a bad day, but I didn't finish it.
The
original movie?
Yeah.
When did you watch it? Was it recently?
Yeah, it was I don't know.
I don't know.
Several months ago.
I saw it probably 10, 15 years ago. Okay. So I think my nostalgic glasses probably hold up better than the movie itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it is old school. It is old school puppetry. So if you didn't really get into that, I know some people really don't like it.
I don't hear with old school puppetry. It's just the character Jen. Just at least for I don't know. I got it out over halfway through the movie. Just didn't do it. For it. I was just like, I don't. Why do I? I mean, it's nice. But I don't really care about this Jen character.
I think he's more meant to be relatable to kids, and that might be a little bit of it. Because when you're an adult, you're kind of like, man, just get something done.
Look, it's good to have a protagonist that you can kind of a great protagonist is Marty McFly, right?
Oh yeah.
Most people can see themselves in Marty in some way or another. And it's good to have a protagonist that you can kind of project yourself onto, and I just couldn't. It just wasn't enough for me to grasp with Jen.
Well, he's not in the prequels. I'll let you know that.
So,
but
he's not in the prequels.
This is all before he's even born. So
what is
the new stuff?
The Netflix.
Oh right, okay. It's weird. Jeez.
But I mean, it is. I will say this too: is they try to mimic the older style puppetry, which I don't know. I really liked what the studio did with Mirror Masks, where they did this really nice blend of modern puppetry and CGI.
Wait, Mirror Mask was puppetry?
Yeah,
That's a
that was
good
a Jim
movie.
that was a Jim Henson production.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? It looked really good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that maybe they missed an opportunity there by kind of taking a step back and trying to recreate the old style.
Interesting. They could have taken the old, kind of revamped it like you see a lot of the series that are coming back these days do, where you see it in a more modern style.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And like it's also bad too, so because like you're bringing us back to that, but story wise you're going a whole different direction. So it's, I don't know. I'll let you know when I finish the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing everything back, man. Like Invader Zim, Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh, the new Invader Zim was fantastic. I have
Was
no
it, dude?
complaints with that
I
one.
need to see it still. I'll watch that later at some point. But yeah, I love Invader Zim. So funny.
Oh, my daughter's a big Zim fan, so when I
Nice.
put it on, she watched it like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh man.
It's funny we're talking about puppets. I before I came on the show, I was literally reading some historical articles on puppetry in Mexico for a comic book I want to put together.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Nobody's Puppet, and I was trying to figure out sort of like what was the history of puppetry there, so that I could. It's part of one of the characters' backgrounds. Grandpa was a Mexican puppeteer.
Huh. Sounds cool, man. So you're doing a little research on it?
Yeah, so and there's like there's a journal called The Americas, and they did a whole issue looking at this. So I was reading through some of that, and I'll probably actually just track that and buy that copy because it'll be more fun to read, in print than online.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, I always enjoy reading the print over the online. It's just better.
Especially if you really want to dig in.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Online is good for like surface glossy stuff, but if you
right.
what you want to do is to get banish all technology and just actually read and understand, then you want print.
Exactly. And in Mexican puppets, you said, huh?
Yeah, because his grandpa is a Mexican puppeteer, and so he dies, and he goes to the attic to clean out some stuff, and he
sounds interesting.
Discovers one puppet that he'd never seen before that looks like a superhero, and he puts it on his arm, and he reads something on the label, and all of a sudden it comes to life, and it flies him around, and that's the sort of the beginning of that story.
That's cool. Yeah, it's interesting because puppetry actually has a real, I'm sure there's a really long history, and there's just so many. It's just interesting when you see there's a lot of different cultural differences between puppetry as well.
Yeah, apparently the conquistadors were the people that brought puppets.
Interesting.
But then over time there was sort of a Mexican art form of puppetry that evolved, and they got just about killed off when television was introduced. But then there's some old school puppeteers that kept it alive.
Now there's an interesting form in Japan. I don't know if you've ever seen the stuff that comes out of Japan. Mm-hmm. All that crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna screen share real quick because there's one on Crunchyroll if anyone's interested in watching like what a modern day puppet is like, especially in like the way the Japanese do it. There's a show on Crunchyroll called Thunderbolt Fantasy. Was it Thunderbolt Fantasy? It's like an action movie.
Yeah.
Like they're fighting with swords and shit, and it's like super crazy and shit. Yeah. I've only seen a little bit of the first episode just because it looked interesting, but it's honestly worth checking out.
Okay. Cool.
It's like here's like you can see like there's drama. Teaming up with an arch villain seems like a bad idea to me. Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's also even like puppet master ninjas and like Naruto.
True. I always loved the puppet master stuff in Naruto, man.
Yeah.
I did too. I always found it like super interesting.
Right? Yeah, it's a good show.
Oh, in the latest issues of Usagi Yojimbo from IDW, the colorized series right now, he's dealing with a demon puppet troupe.
Really?
Right.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that's just so great about it. I think it's just the idea of the controlling this other, whether it be a person or just a puppet or whatever it is.
Mhm.
It's just a good, interesting concept for that. You know?
Yeah. So, well, the idea of this, the Nobody's Puppet, is that the puppet actually comes to life, and you know, it has an independent existence and thinks it's this superhero that's trying to save the world from an evil invader who doesn't actually exist. But it's like a super powered puppet, and anyways, the two eventually have to find some way to sort of live together.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun. It's like Ted.
Yes, yeah. But a little less profanity than Ted, I'm thinking.
Right, probably a little bit, just just a little. But
the thing that's great about Ted is where they're in the hotel room and they get into that fight, and Ted actually really quits, like kicks the crap out of Mark Wahlberg. Eventually he loses, but I mean, like, you're like, oh my gosh, that was so well.
I need to see it. Honestly, I haven't seen Ted. I hate to admit it.
Okay.
I don't know how I missed it. It looked so funny. I just never got around to watching it, but it's worth checking out.
I think the first one is Scott, did
Didn't enjoy the second?
It looks like he's muted.
No, I didn't. I tried watching Ted, and I think it was kind of one of those things where there was too much going on, and I couldn't really get into it.
When's Ted 3 coming out?
Is there a Ted 3?
When's the Tediverse starting up? That'd be good, right? Oh man. I saw someone made a tweet, and posted a picture, and it had all these horror icons like Freddy and Jason and Jigsaw, and it said the Murderverse.
Didn't they try that though? They did Freddy versus Jason.
Well, they did that, and they also did Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Well, that went back a ways though. That went back to comic books actually.
Really?
Yeah, Dark Horse used to run that. I think they even had like a RoboCop versus Terminator.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Didn't they also way back then they have a Marvel versus DC?
Sorry, go ahead. There was a crossover event that I never really got into, but I know that happened. I think I might have them somewhere, but there was also a Batman Spawn crossover too.
Yep.
Nice. That's badass, dude.
There's been a lot of individual crossovers, but the largest one is called Amalgam, I believe.
What's that?
The larger one is called Amalgam.
Oh, interesting.
And they actually created a lot of mashup characters that were only in that series.
Nice. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when they still got along.
Yeah. You also had, and this wasn't a Marvel thing, but you had Stan Lee did some comics for DC that were like titled like Batman and Superman and whatever, and it was like if he were to have created this character, right? It's completely different than what actually ended up existing. Is you just take the title Batman and Superman, whatever, and he's like, oh, how would it, when I was doing comics, how would I have envisioned this? And it's a totally wacko thing. I just love that DC's just like, yeah, Stan, go nuts.
Interesting, yeah.
But I have an idea. So there's one comic I'm working on. It's called Murder.
Murder.
Yeah, and crows are featured prominently in this comic. And so, Michael Watson, I was going to ask you, do you think you could ship feathers along with comics? Would that work?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you slid it in the comic bag, I don't see why I wouldn't say just as protected as the comic book.
Okay.
Maybe put it in like a little sleeve or something, so like the point of the feather doesn't damage the comic.
Smart. Yeah, a separate little let me think. I'm sure we could find some sort of little sleeve to put it in, yeah, or even a Ziploc bag or something like that,
Or even just like a little plastic thing to cover the tip of it is really all you need.
Because I found a thing on Etsy where they sell like 30 crow feathers for like $10.
Whoa, that's cool.
Like I could buy several, orders of those, and we could just.
That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, like
That'd be fun.
Like this time the stretch goal was people get a movie ticket. Next time they get crow feathers.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun idea. I like it.
That was even like take
next time you're as long as you don't send them fingers, or something like that. Then I think they'll be fine. Yeah.
I was even thinking just individually like take all the crow feathers and take like red paint and do like a stripe across it, so like a special commemorative murder crow feather.
Dipped in blood from the latest victim. Oh man, yeah, that sounds cool. That's kind of fun perks or little extras. I always love those little things, like the movie tickets.
Instead of
came out nice, man.
Instead of a stripe, you should almost like cut the ends like a quill and then like dip it in red.
Oh, that could work. Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So we're gonna offer a plush rage puppy for people to buy.
That would be cool. we gotta get the book made first. That's my big.
Hey man, if the plushes get the job done, it's we gotta consider all options here.
I think we'll have maybe like a vinyl rage puppy sticker first.
Nice.
Something you can put on the car.
Yeah.
Maybe a bookmark.
That's a good idea.
Those are always good options.
If you're doing a bumper, what would be a good slogan for a bumper sticker if it was a rat sticker?
Don't feed your inner rage puppy.
Or you want the rage puppy to eat you.
Right.
Or keep the rage off the road.
Yeah.
Keep the rage in the puppy and off the road.
Yeah.
I have a bumper sticker that is the best bumper sticker in the history of bumper stickers. And it says, "Support our troops. We'll need them to overthrow our government."
Nice. That's pretty funny. That's a new one. I hadn't heard that one before. Yeah, I have a it's not a bumper sticker, but it's like a car sticker that I got as a birthday gift a couple years ago that I really like from my sister, which is the ghost from Hitchhiker, or not Hitchhiker's Guide. There's no ghost in that movie. The hitchhiking ghost from the Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
If you know the ride, they're like at the end and you see them on their way out and stuff. And so they have the hitchhiking ghosts and they're glow in the dark and stuff. And so you put them in the car window and when that night they glow and it looks like they're like trying to hitch a ride on your car. I always just thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I heard if you do Haunted Mansion at Disney World, you can ask the person at the end for a death certificate. And they'll print your name on a death certificate.
Nice, dude.
I tried it at Disneyland, and they didn't know what I was talking about. So
they're probably like, what?
Apparently a Disney World thing.
Yeah, there are some differences between Disneyland and Disney World.
Though that was my daughter's favorite ride, and I think we went on it 3 or 4 times last time I was there.
Really? She wasn't scared, huh?
No, it was. I kind of had the proud dad moment when my 4-year-old's like, "Let's do this," and like an 8-year-old's like freaking out and like running into the corner.
Nice, dude. Yeah, that's a good sign. But yeah, I'm a lot of stuff opening up at that park soon.
Yeah.
You got the Star Wars land that just opened. You got the Avengers stuff coming. The Star Wars hotel that's going to cost $1 bazillion to stay at.
Okay.
Have you not heard of this, Jeremy?
I didn't hear of the Star Wars hotel.
Dude, they're making a giant Star Cruiser ship, like replicating a spaceship on land. Think of it just like a cruise on land. It's going to have hotel accommodations. It's going to have dining, shows, attractions, interactions, games. And it's going to cost... I've seen different ballpark estimations, but from about $1,000 to $3,000 per person a night.
Okay, and so you stay on and this is in the park, or is it outside?
It's gonna probably be just outside the park and Disney World. I'm thinking where all the resorts are,
Oh,
and inside when you're inside of it.
This is Disney World, not Disneyland.
I actually don't know that part.
Okay.
Probably
I don't remember.
Disney World, because I didn't see anything like that when I was down there in January. Just the
it's not
Star
probably
Wars
come out
park.
for a while, probably, but
That's true.
but apparently it's gonna have like they say a quote view from space. So like when you're dining, it's gonna look like you're in outer space and stuff. But it's like, damn, that's expensive as hell, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, Disney World though, they can do so much more stuff there because they basically created the town. I mean, Disney all but owns it as a legal entity.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was Swampland before, right?
Yeah, and then like they created a technical, political shell to make this happen. But apparently, the sort of rules they have for citizenship in the town are like not anything that would fly anywhere else.
Really?
Like you have to be an owner. You it's not being a resident there. And I don't know. I was reading something about it. It looks, like they got themselves a pretty sweetheart deal from the Florida legislature.
Say that last part again?
It looks like they got themselves a pretty sweetheart deal from the Florida legislature.
Oh, really?
They're just like, we'll let you do what you want as long as no one dies.
No
one dies.
I think we can handle that.
They do have that whole water park out there that's just abandoned, so they could always tear that down and make some room.
Yeah, there you go.
Plus, I think there's there's Tom Sawyer Island or something like that that's abandoned. That's like sitting out in the lagoon.
Oh, no, that's Pirate Island now.
Did they make it something?
Yeah, they added something in. It's like pirate something to do with Pirates of the Caribbean. I think Pirate Island, but it's like, oh man, Tom Sawyer Island. That's my jam right there, man.
Darn right.
That's a classic. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got it'll hopefully in the next month it'll be out. A 4-page story in this comic book, and the back. It's a backup story about this character named Huckleberry Black.
Oh yeah.
Which it's in my telling, he sort of is descended from the actual Huckleberry fan. But that it was actually real, and Mark Twain used it, and it just that Finn was actually in it. He didn't change his first name, but he changed his last name when he was telling the story. But if I were to do that as a regular thing, I would love to just riff regularly on all kinds of Mark Twain stuff.
I still think Huckleberry Black should be Beerman's beverage of choice.
There you go.
Beerman. Huckleberry Black and the Adventures of Huckleberry Black and his friend Beerman.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's promise.
Yeah.
Crossover event.
Yeah. Well, once I get the first 4-page thing out there, then I'll talk to the artist and see if we want to do something regularly or.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm really excited I know you've been really excited to get this character out, so I'm looking forward to being able to read it.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely send you a copy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So can I say that the prints that I got for Movie Men came out fantastic?
Yes, you can.
You and the comic book was great too, because I got because I know a guy. I got an early copy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy. And I enjoyed it, and I'm very much looking forward to this Sporkman crossover.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna ask. You probably can't spoil it, but do you think Sporkman? Any chance Sporkman will get one of those mythical weapons we saw?
Oh yeah, I kind of think of the spork as a mythical weapon.
He's a weapon in his own right.
Yeah. Let me just say that it's possible that he can wield other people's mythical weapons.
Interesting. Okay, that's I like that. That gives us something to think about.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. Can they wield each other's weapons?
Yeah.
I've never seen that yet.
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Determined.
Or can it only be Sporkman? We shall find out.
Do it once.
Jeez, dual wield.
The magic wand and the Gatling gun.
Oh my god, that'd be OP. Just hold him up in the air and just shoot him with the gun. Boom, boom, boom. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
I think he should just try taping them all together to see what happens.
Oh god. That'd be chaos.
I think then Voltron might sue us.
That's too close for comfort there.
Can I tell you the story behind the pinups?
Behind the what?
The pinups, the two
Yeah.
different. So the two pinups in Movie Men are there's where they're driving in their car and they look out and they see the T-Rex in the parking lot, and then at the end where they're fighting the robot, where all the different characters are fighting the robot. And both of these, I came up with the idea for these, and what I decided to do was to sort of enhance the comic book, in the sense that, like, well, I didn't show that in the comic, but like, what would that scene look like? And so I had Sean Hall and Ibai do the scenes that like would have been there, and so that's how this came about.
That's cool, man. It's I like that. It gives you something extra.
Yeah,
You know, it's not just something like you said. It's not just a replication from the comic. You're actually getting more from this.
Yeah,
in a single image.
Expand on the possibilities.
Right. Yeah, I think that lets you the imagination run wild with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one here's the one by eBay that we're looking at, right?
Yep.
That it came out really nice. He did a great job of his characterizations of those characters.
Yeah.
And everything just came out perfect. Now, is the other one on the Indiegogo page as well?
It is, but you have to go to the notices and scroll down. So
okay,
it's not on the front page. You could get it. It would be you go up to notices and you'd have to scroll well down because it was one of the first notices I gave people.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, I think they really came out nice. And as I said, I was telling Jeremy Scott, I actually think the paper was a great fit for it. What did you think of the paper quality on the pinups?
Oh yeah, they're great.
Nice, man.
It's nice and sturdy, and the details came out great.
We wanted to go with a little bit of a thinner paper than usual than our prints do, because we kind of wanted to give it that pinup feel.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it definitely has
really
like a poster feel to it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I think that actually helped it a lot. So I found the other image here.
Okay, that's it. Yep.
Nice, man. That one's so fun too. I love it. What has he got in his mouth there?
It's like a bumper, I think, or something like that.
Nice. Okay, yeah.
So the nice thing about when I got that is my mailman didn't shove it into my mailbox. He actually dropped it on my front porch.
That's good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I wonder if he noticed, because I always put out these little warnings on the front that says "Documents, please do not bend."
Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully he noticed that.
Sometimes
he must have.
You don't.
Oh, good. What's that, Jeremy?
Sometimes they care about that sort of thing, and sometimes they just take it as a person.
Yeah, exactly. It's hit or miss, honestly.
Right.
But it's like it never hurts to ask, you know. Just and I put the please in there to hopefully, call to their better judgment or their sense of,
Well, they might think that a nice Canadian sent it,
No, I have to write sorry at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Then they'd really get it.
Are you doing any pinup offerings as part of RAP?
You mean like stretch goals?
Sure, or like a higher tier. You can back for more money and you get a pinup, that kind of a thing.
Not in this one. We're gonna pretty much go with what we did the first time, where we're gonna have the sketches, especially since Drew's not gonna be doing the bulk of the work, so she's definitely gonna have the time to do those.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll have the sketch tier and we'll have the color illustration tier. I'm tweaking the prices a little bit too. Okay. I think it was $120 for the sketches. I'm going to bring those down to $100.
Okay.
And the sketches were $60. And because Emilio's doing his layouts a lot differently, the page count is going to come down.
Okay.
So the physical copies are all going to drop down by about $5. So I think it was 20 for the variant in the Kickstarter. So it'll be 15 in the Indiegogo, and the standard's coming down from 15 to 10.
Okay.
Nice.
I hope to get a try to be a first backer. Let's see if I can pull it off.
I will warn you that I'm probably going to hit that launch button pretty early before I head into work. So probably around 6 a.m.
All right.
Get ready, man.
Claylex was like on top of it last time, so he's the guy to beat.
I've got a lot of number 2s, not a lot of number 1s.
Really?
All right. maybe I'll give you the heads up. Like, all right, I'm about to hit the button, Jeremy. Hope you're awake.
You're like the guy who always has the first comment. Oh shit! Yeah. And it's like in your eyes.
What was that thing? I think they used to make fun of it on the Soup was firsties.
Nice. But yeah, that's cool, man. I'll be getting my copy of Wrath. Getting that ready.
Yeah, so the idea I had is I launch in the morning, and then we do the launch stream after I get home from work that day.
So dude. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with you about that. I should if you want, I can go ahead and make an announcement later about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who's on there. I know Salem's expressed some interest. I got to see if Drew's available, because I always think that I do better when she's on there hyping it up too.
Nice. Yeah.
But we'll see how that pans out, because she's been super busy lately.
Yeah.
Really.
She's got a really good engaging personality for these sorts of things.
I would 100% agree with you on that one. Especially like, I think it was the second podcast, and she just kind of jumped right in and was just explaining like all the stuff that I usually talk about, and I was just like, yeah, she's really she's very into and very involved with this project. I'm not gonna doubt that again.
Yeah.
So how are you guys feeling right now? Can you guys do another hour in you?
Another hour? I can stick around for. I actually can't do a whole nother hour, but I can.
Okay. Well, hopefully the Mythoverse guys get in here soon, and we'll transition them over. If not, maybe if we can do another half hour, then maybe we'll end it early for today.
Possibly, because I just have to. My wife and I and the kid are going and meeting some friends here for brunch.
No worries. It's all good. We can be flexible.
Okay.
We don't have to be so strict to everything.
Okay. So I had a good question for Scott, and then I forgot.
Oh no.
That's always the worst.
What were we just talking about? And maybe it'll help him remember it.
Yeah.
We were talking about doing the launch and the stream.
Yeah.
Indiegogo, doing the campaign.
Yeah.
Huckleberry Black.
No.
No.
I don't know.
I hate when that happens, man.
Yeah.
God, that's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah. I really feel 40, you know? I'm like, okay.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I feel like that all the time, so.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
They wouldn't have forgotten this.
That's been happening to me since my teens. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. I always do that. Like, I'll do stuff where I'll forget what I was just talking about like a minute ago too. Yeah, all the time. So
there's you guys heard the term Irish Alzheimer's?
No, I've never heard that one.
I've never heard that one either.
It's where you only remember your grudges.
That's so great. Funny. Oh man, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm gonna have to work that into a comic at some point. It's just too good not to use.
Yeah. I could see it's like it's about an ailing Irish hitman. And he put his life, he put it behind all his targets long ago, but now he's forgetting that he put the life behind, and he's starting to go after his targets again.
Oh.
So like Memento?
Yeah, it's like Memento, kind of. Yeah, and he slowly has to realize, oh my God, I'm the bad guy. What have I done? Oh man, that's a great movie.
I've always been curious, like with how realistic and how people, from more recent generations are into like gaming and stuff, like how that's gonna affect like their Alzheimer's. Are they gonna like like someone who's been like playing D&D for something for like 20, 30 years, are they gonna like slip in and think they're their old character?
That's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. Virtual reality in the future would probably do that. I bet.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I mean.
I know sometimes actors have a problem of when they get Alzheimer's. Like sometimes they think some of their roles were actually them.
Well, this is really interesting. Is the guy who did all the Looney Tunes voices was in a really bad car accident, and he was in a coma for a while.
Yeah.
And they were talking to him, and he wouldn't respond. And then someone went over and they're like, "Hey, Bugs, you in there?" And he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?"
No shit, really?
That's great.
Huh.
And like I think he did like they went through like all the characters he voiced, and he would respond in character in coma. It's just bizarre. But like it's when you, I guess, do something so often that it just almost becomes like like muscle memory.
Yeah. Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah, as in I think it was in a documentary that the guy who does Jake from Adventure Time and Bender from Futurama.
Okay.
I think it's called I Know That Voice, and it's all about like voice actors.
Okay.
And so they have all this. There's all of them go back and talk about that guy because he was like the like king of voice actors.
He's like the Jack Kirby of voice actors.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's cool.
Really? Huh.
Cool. So did you guys know if I'm gonna throw a term out there and I want you to tell me what you know about it. Is that cool?
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. Term is werewolf syndrome. Go.
Okay, I actually know about this because there was an episode of a show called Testes where a guy developed it. It's
Wait, hold on, before you say that, I would say that it's like when you get infected with like a flea bite or something, and it makes you really hairy.
Okay.
Go ahead, Scott.
It's actually a genetic disorder where basically body hair grows in places that it doesn't normally, like including the face.
I was kind of right, actually. I thought I was.
Yeah, you were pretty close.
But I was actually pretty close. I was thinking my actual real thought was at first was that it was like he turns into a werewolf, but I didn't want to say that because obviously that can't be true.
They took some liberties on the show since it was a comedy, and they would mess with him, but like, "You want to go for a car ride?" And he'd be like, "Yeah," and all excited and sticking his head out the window. That's not.
Oh shit!
That's not how actual werewolf syndrome is.
That's pretty good, yeah.
That was a great show. It was on Fox, or no, it was on FX, and it was basically these two guys that never had any job except for going in and being lab rats for experiments. And so there's some pretty funny experiments that they get roped into.
I never even heard of it. So it's called Testes?
Testes, yep.
Testes. That's an interesting title.
Yeah. Like, what is this stuff? So this is a thing that so it's usually genetic, but there was actually a thing that happened in Italy where there was, and I'm not making this up. It was widely reported this week. There was some sort of cream that gets used on babies, and so they get it from this factory that normally, dishes this cream out, and all of a sudden these babies started growing hair in the weirdest places, like where it was applied, right? And what it turned out, what happened was they had mixed up. They had like an anti-balding drug that they had accidentally mixed up and put it into this baby cream formula.
Oh God.
And kids that have like hair sprouting and like. So yeah,
that's so silly.
It was like an outbreak of werewolf syndrome.
My baby has hair everywhere. What's going on?
Mix the baby lotion with the Rogaine, huh? I did hear something about a genetically modified, and I never followed it up if it was real or not, but there was supposedly a genetically modified cucumber that was causing hair loss.
Oh man, I hate those hair loss cucumbers.
So on the hair loss note that we just brought up there, we are looks like Matt's in the queue, so I guess we'll start wrapping things up as the Mythoverse transition in.
Okay.
Wait, did you tie hair loss to Matt?
I didn't mean to. I don't know. Don't read into that. Don't read into that. Don't.
Best
it was an accident
ever.
God dang it! I'm the worst at transitions. That was awful. Oh man, I hope he didn't hear that.
He did if he's backstage.
I better bring him in. At that point. Hey Matt, how's it going?
Hey Michael.
Hey.
Whatever you just
You
said.
weren't listening.
Whatever you just said, you're lucky I was in the bathroom.
Oh, see, yeah, I was just saying how great of a guy you are. No big deal. No big deal.
That sounds like a lie.
No, never. Not me.
Oh man.
I wouldn't do it. Oh man, that's
Guys,
hilarious.
sign off. You have a good rest of the show. I love you all.
And we'll post your where we can. I'll go ahead and post your Twitter so people can follow you as well.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. See you later. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Bye. And Scott, where can people follow you online?
I'm gonna stick around for a little bit if that's cool.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to hang out with the Mythoverse guys.
Yeah, I mean until they all get here.
Yeah, no. Oh, even yeah, sure. If you want to, I think just Brett's gonna be joining us, not Dan today. So if you wanted to hang out with us, you feel more than welcome to.
Well, since Matt's here and Brett's not here yet, we can talk about our GTA heist and how you bogart your rocket launchers.
Who bogarts the rockets now?
You do.
Me?
You don't remember? We were like trying to shoot down this helicopter.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I have a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
I didn't think anyone needed my help. I was over in the corner. Oh, they got it. They were fine.
After a fifth time, we needed help.
Uh-huh.
And we weren't certain whether or not you had the level for a trek with a homing rocket.
I had plenty of rockets though. So once they said they wanted my help and they asked for it, then I got involved. You understand, dear viewer. It makes all the sense in the world.
I've only been playing with them for a little bit, but we already have like 2 or 3 running jokes for Michael. Like the time he was supposed to be out in the ocean in a jet ski and got hit by a car.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't think I'll ever live that one down.
That one
I tend to blow up. The new thing is because I've been playing 7 Days to Die, I tend to break my leg at least once, but mostly twice or 3 times a game.
I don't think I've played that game a couple times, and I don't think I've ever broken my leg.
Oh, so just me, huh?
Do you just like jumping from high places? Is that what you
No? Well, no, mostly falling. I wouldn't say jumping. I would categorize it as definitely falling. Building, on high ledges or coming, walking down a hill or,
Wait, walking or running down?
Walking, mostly walking. I don't think I've ever broken it running.
I think you're the
I'll
most
just be like walking along, do. Whoa! Ah!
He's like the most accident-prone gamer.
Yeah. You have no clue how true that is.
Oh man, Destiny is gonna be fun. I think with
you. Yeah, I'm gonna be joining Destiny as it goes free to play. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious what class you pick because it's all gonna be about.
I know a class I'll pick. You know a class I'll pick. You GM'd me for my first first Starfinder game. You know.
Oh, so you're gonna go Titan, huh?
I'm probably, if that's the guy who hits stuff hard. Oh yeah.
All right.
That's my MO in general. Just
your bubble.
Yeah, I'm good at swinging things. That's why I don't play RTS games, and I just play action games.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, Yeah, you can. I think the fire spec has a two-handed
Or shoot
hammer.
things. I like shooting things.
They all shoot things. It's a gun-based
Well,
game.
okay, well. Do any of them shoot things particularly well?
There is the hunter has a bow ability where you can basically like shoot an area and then it tethers all the enemies in that area, so they take extra damage and they drop extra orbs for everyone.
Huh, interesting. Matt, have you ever tried out Destiny 2?
I haven't, but I haven't played it yet.
Okay. But you might
Yep.
maybe consider going to it when it goes free to play?
I already have it.
Oh.
Oh, he already has it.
Yep.
Just
Not
haven't played it.
You haven't played it?
No, I haven't found a time. It came as the Humble Bundle free game of the month. So
So it's not like you went out and bought it necessarily.
pretty much.
Yeah, no, I get that. And there's a lot of games to play. I'm playing Watch Dogs right now. I'm finishing up the first Watch Dogs game. Just finished the main story. I'm working on the DLC at the moment. Either of you played that one?
No, I think I might have it, but I've never played it.
It's fun. I like it a lot. I kind of feel like John Wick when I'm playing that game.
I'm wondering if I want to pull the trigger on Devil May Cry 5 because I have access to that one.
I have that one too. I say go for it. But have you played the other ones before?
I played like the first two, I think, but that was like, I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's I'll say you probably enjoy the game, but the story probably won't make any sense to you at all. They're so far into an entrenched storyline that's been building up over 5 games at this point that I would think it would be hard to understand what's going on. I don't know. Matt, you probably don't play those games, so you don't have anything to say about
What
that.
games again?
Devil May Cry series.
Oh, no, I haven't.
They're fun games, honestly. Devil May Cry 4, like I didn't know anything about the story, and I enjoyed the game still. But the story was like, and it was a standalone story, which helped too. But I think there were certain elements I didn't appreciate. So I guess they take that for what it is.
Yeah.
Like I think you'll still enjoy it, and you'll probably still understand it. But there are certain elements that will be above your head, maybe. Like, oh, who's that character? I don't really know his backstory or their relationships or what's happened in the past games. So I don't know. What I did is I went and watched the movies, the game movies, on YouTube of the older games, so I don't have to play them because the gameplay's not good anymore.
I remember when I started playing. It was one of the old Castlevania games, Lord of Shadows. But my all-time favorite is what's that one? It's the side scroller when you play Alucard.
Oh,
Symphony of the Night. That's my all-time favorite.
Is that the handheld one, isn't it?
No, that was PlayStation.
Oh,
original
really?
PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But you can get it on Xbox. It's kind of like a backwards compatible thing.
That's pretty cool, man. It's gonna be cool when you can finally play some of those old games coming up soon when the PS5 comes out. Did you hear I've heard full backwards compatibility.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So if you want to go play some of those older games now, we'll finally be able to do it.
So you can literally like go buy like Final Fantasy VII on the original like 5 discs and like just pop one in.
That's what it sounds like. Someone check me on that, but that's what it sounded like. Yeah.
That was so bizarre. Like the technology back then, where it's like the game would stop and it would tell you to like open the PlayStation and
put your other disc in, and you're like, "Are you sure I can do this? The game's running. Is this okay?" And you're like, "I guess so. I'm doing it." Yeah, I always thought that was so funny. I had what game? Oh, I had a Yu-Gi-Oh game that was 2 discs.
Yeah, and I think that was because like DVD technology wasn't really a thing back then.
Yeah, they were all CDs, right?
Yeah, they were actual like just CD-ROMs, so that was only I think half a gig.
Jeez. That's bad compared to now, at least, you know.
Oh, floppy
Blu-ray
disks,
technology.
Like, we're talking like the actual like like the smaller plastic ones were like maybe 1.5 megabytes.
Yeah, do you guys ever think that we'll move out of Blu-ray and disc technology?
Probably not.
You don't think like flash drives will take over at some point?
I mean, they kind of have. I mean, like my current PC does not have a CD or DVD drive. My work one doesn't either. Everything's switching to digital, or like you said, like flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
but when it comes to movies and games, I think they're still going to have some sort of physical capability because some companies like to delete movies from your library. Not naming any names, Google.
So, so I get your point. I definitely agree because there's a fear with certain digital mediums. Like, I mean, take Alan Wake for example, or you can't buy Alan Wake anymore. So having a physical copy would be a big deal. Or for example, like I know GTA 4 a while back they lost the license for music and had to give up some of that. They had to update it and patch it with new things. So like potentially these things are going to be lost. So, but at the same time, in the future, think that way down the line, in the future when you have like 8K and higher video, and even way down the line, if they're going to have to, the technology will not be able to keep up. They'll have to come up with something new disc wise. Otherwise, even a Blu-ray won't be able to hold all the information that they'll be able to jam in there.
Yeah, and you also have to worry about battery life too. That's something that they're working on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Technology grow. Exponentially grows. So it'll just in the next 10 years will be very interesting.
Yeah,
but
that is very true. I mean, like just to see how much we've gone in like 10, 20 years. I mean, look at the first cell phones compared to what we have now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or what was it? Someone pointed out that your cell phone has 10,000 times the processing power as the computers they used for the moon landing.
That's pretty funny, man. That's also pretty awesome that they still landed on the moon. It's like I can't land on the moon with my phone. How the fuck did they do it?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine like going back in time and handing like your 8-year-old self your cell phone?
Jeez. Oh man, mind blown.
You're just like, this is like way better than my Nintendo, and it has its own like. How is this a TV?
Yeah, I remember those mobile TVs that were just huge. They were larger than Game Boys. They had their own antennas.
Where's the controls? Wait, I just touched the screen? How does that work? It's like that scene from Back to the Future when he plays Wild Gunman. You have to use your hands? That's a baby's toy.
Okay.
So, so Matt, you've been playing any games lately?
Well, as you can tell, some days you die.
I had a clue or two.
I've been playing Battletech.
Nice. How are you liking Battletech?
It's awesome.
Really?
Which one is this?
Battletech, the Texas game. The one
which
on Steam.
That was the one that was like the crowdfunding one, right?
Yep.
Are you playing the expansion? Because I did play the campaign and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Flashpoint opens up career mode and a larger part of the inner sphere. And Urban Warfare gives you the new mechs, a new mech with The Raven, where it's a stealth mech.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like Brett's hopping on here soon. He just posted in the Discord.
Oh, nice.
I'll be right back for a second.
Do you want to come up with a great segue for him, Michael?
No, I think I'll let you handle that one. I'm not sure I'd be the best at that. Maybe I'll make a dig at his breakfast on accident or something. I'm sure I'll slip up somehow. But yeah, you know, how about you? Have you been playing any games lately?
Just the because I've kind of put Destiny down until it comes out with the expansion. My friend wants me to get back into Monster Hunter.
Oh, really?
Still on the fence on that one.
Okay.
And then I don't know. It's just the combat is very sluggish. You know, like the monsters move way faster than you do, which is kind of frustrating. And like I kind of like the controls from Dauntless a little bit better. It seems a little bit
Dauntless?
more.
Oh yeah. The Dauntless looked like a fun game.
Yeah, it's very similar to Monster Hunter. It's just kind of streamlined a bit, and the combat seems a little bit more fluid than Monster Hunter. The graphics on Monster Hunter are definitely better though.
But it seems like Dauntless has a style to their graphics.
Yeah, it's kind of like that cartoony Fortnite style.
That kind of stuff tends to hold up pretty well.
Yeah,
it's already got its own style, you know.
Yeah, this is definitely true. But what else?
It is pretty, honestly.
I've been playing the remastered Civilization.
Which one? Is it 5 or?
Oh no, sorry, Age of Empires. I always get those two confused.
Okay.
Remastered Age of Empires. Because I never really went and played those games, so those are interesting.
What kind of games are Age of Empires?
They're like a RTS, real-time strategy type thing where you're gathering resources and then upgrading your people through, you know, like Stone Age, Bronze Age, you know, all of that. So it's very historical based instead of like future, you know, like combat or warfare. I mean, you do have military troops, but they're all historical ones like chariots and bowmen, stuff like that.
Hey, Brett. Sorry about that.
It's fine. I can see Matt got ahead of me.
Yep.
Oh, he's been in here for a while.
Right, so just to get me up to speed, what did I miss?
Not much. We're just shooting. We're just talking pop culture. Just shooting the shit.
As far as updates go, I can tell you guys right now that I was speaking with Ginger, and book is Changeling's close to being a third of the way done.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
It's good progress, man.
Yeah,
sounds like things are moving along.
Pretty much. I mean, Victor's down to the last 14 pages to ink, and Ginger seems to be keeping a good pace. So,
hell yeah.
Seems like we'll probably make our deadline.
Good. That's good to hear, man. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. How are you liking everything coming out just how you wanted it to?
More or less, yeah. It's been great.
I saw that page you previewed. It looked awesome. The nightclub scene at the church.
Not a
nightclub, I guess you should say. A dance scene.
You're close. It's you probably get this if you've ever been to like one of those super non-denominational churches where they all try to be hip and shit.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. They have one in my hometown. It's like a mega church.
Well, yeah, not exactly, but not quite that. But yeah, it's like that's typically what they'll do for like the youth group and shit.
Right, exactly. Like I remember when I went one time and they had Smash Brothers. They were all playing Super Smash Brothers. You know, so it was that, you know, and then they did, of course, the youth group thing or whatever. So I totally get what you're saying there.
Oh yeah, it's just I mean, like, trust me, it's like, trust me, I've I've got quite a few things to say in this book
I'm
about
sure.
the state of modern churches.
But so yeah, that was a great scene though. I thought the color composition was really nice, and then the way she bumps into the other guy and gets embarrassed, and they have this fun interaction. Oh,
That was-
also, what's her name? The redhead.
Okay, so the boy she bumped into, his name is Andy, and the redhead
Andy.
is.
Is what?
The boy she bumped into, his name is Andy, and the girl with the red hair, that's Sadie.
I like when Sadie I think she calls her the Scream Queen.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was a fun line.
I actually had to explain to a friend of mine what that is, because
Really, she had never heard of it.
yeah, he's never.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never heard of it, but like. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good part, and I think people are gonna really love this book. I know I am already falling in love with it just from the pages you've already shown. So
The thing is about that part that I shared, I get told by a lot of people like how much they relate to that.
really, I think Maeve is definitely a very relatable character.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Antonella's told me, Matt, that she kind of relates to all three of the Mythoverse girls in one way or another.
Really?
Well, she's. I think it's like she used to be like Maeve when she was younger. Don't know how she relates to Adobe, but I know she definitely feels a connection to Elfia.
Yep, especially right down to the fact that she may cosplay her.
That would be awesome.
Now, I guess did Scott leave?
Yeah,
I guess he left the chat. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug Scott. For everyone, please go follow him on Twitter at Quiche Cumin. I'm gonna put the link up real quick. Quiche Cumin. And get ready for his new his comic coming back to Indiegogo on September 16th. Oh, he hit the wrong button. Maybe he didn't mean to do that. Let me bring it back in. Was that an accident where did you not mean to leave? Oh, you're back now, Scott.
Oh.
Hey. Yeah, I just bounced out. But I do probably need to go.
Okay, well then there's your exit right there. Well, thanks for joining us today, man. I appreciate it, and like I said, please get ready for his book, man. It's gonna come back with a new addition to the creative team. So it looks like it's gonna be awesome, and I'm positive you guys are gonna hit your goal this time and get it done. So.
Yep, and I'm leaking new preview pages every Monday, so please follow me on Twitter, and you can take part in that free little preview I'm putting out there.
Nice, man. That's perfect. Awesome, dude. Well, thanks again, man. We'll see you next time, dude. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, talk to you later.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's cool, man. Mythoverse is moving along. Matt was saying, progress is good on his end as well, and actually, we should show off some of these pages that you've been previewing. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up the one I was just talking about, and then there's another page on the Mythics I wanted to bring up as well.
Speaking of which, how much is Beth got left, Matt?
I think she's got about a week and a half left on it.
Not bad. That's really good, man.
If I remember correctly, Dan said Leandro's down to the last page.
Yep.
And after that point, it's off to the letterer.
And then does Dan have any? Have you guys talked to Dan about any updates that he might have?
Yeah, Leandro's down to the last page.
Oh, Leandro. Sorry, I thought for some reason I understood. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Victor for some reason.
No. Victor is down to the last 14.
Right. That's okay. That's why I was confused. I was like, I thought you already updated that.
Leandro's down to the last page for Adobe Kroger, and then after that, Dan just sends it off to his letterer. Which, if I remember correctly, that's Eric Weathers.
Mm-hmm. Nice, man. Nice. So that's good. So all three books are moving along well then.
More or less. Although I think like at the current pace, it seems like Beth will probably finish first. Unless I don't know how quickly Eric works as a letterer. Although I think Dana said he works pretty fast.
Are you guys gonna give a prize to whoever finishes first? Mythoverse badge of honor.
We've already got a no prize in our Discord.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So like what we have in the Discord is we have a Me6 bot. It tracks like your posts and based on how much and how long you post in a given period, it'll award you XP and bump you up a level. And whoever gets the highest by Tuesday gets a no prize. And right now, Blossom from the Kumite, who is in our Discord, she is making a play at taking the number 1 spot. But right now, according to the leaderboard, that seems to be Ethereal Dragon. But let me put it this way: Blossom's got a bit of an uphill battle to climb, but she's confident she can do it.
She'll get there. Just have the faith.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, I've said this again time and time again, but it's always good to see you guys interacting with people on Discord, because I think that's a good way for fans to interact.
Well, yeah,
in addition to Twitter, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the thing with the Discord is it's more real time and go away, you.
More conversational.
Yeah, it's more real time. It's more conversational, and it has a much different feel than Twitter. It's like, I mean, I guess in like internet terms, being on our Discord's like being in a clubhouse or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we're always trying to find things to do in the Discord just so people have a reason to keep coming back.
Now, I want to point these pages out, and I think this page here is a really great example of how Victor's and Ginger's color art together combines so perfectly, because you're getting expressions that are enhanced by the colors, and they just work so perfect, from that embarrassed look to the scared look. You know, it's so good.
Yeah,
it just looks perfect.
Oh, look, there's Ethereal Dragon in the chat.
Hello.
Hey,
even the eyeshadow is a nice touch, you know?
Yeah.
You see the two differences of the girls' eyeshadows. That's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I bet Ethereal Dragon's happy that Blossom's not in the chat.
Yikes.
I noticed that she went on a spree today.
Really? Did she?
You didn't notice it?
Was this like... I only know what I saw when I woke up, and it wasn't...
Yeah, she's been going on and on and on and on. She wants to win.
We gotta rope Vamp into this, because somehow I get the feeling she could keep Blossom talking for hours on end.
Well, to be honest, I think Blossom can talk for hours on end by herself in Discord.
That is true.
That's a useful skill.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's something I want to talk about that we were going to bring up on the Mythoverse stream last week, but we're not able to because tech issues happened on our end. Was that right before we did that show? The day before we did that show, we did a recording session with Blossom and Kylie, who's the voice actress for Maeve. It was basically a 2-man play featuring Maeve and Jenny. And this was like the first time the two of them had ever interacted with each other, and they just clicked on the spot.
It was like they'd known each other forever, something like that.
It's more like they got. I don't know if I'd say that. It's just more like they were, because the reason why I brought them, I wanted to do like a recording session on the Discord was because I felt like their performances would be better. if they were able to interact with each other and portray the friendship better. So because they would have a feel for one another, and like they got along really well with each other, and they just like they were able to actually really play their roles very well.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear that the chemistry worked out well.
Yeah, like I said, especially considering it was the first time they ever met, they'd ever really interacted with each other.
And you guys are going to continue working with them as well, right?
Oh yeah, as far as I know, like Kylie's up to playing Maeve for as long as she can. And Blossom likes doing the voicing Jenny, and far as I know, Lauren still is doing Althea, and Addison is still doing Adobe. And not only that, we even added Lenore to do some bit parts for our audio cast as well. She handles the narration.
Hey, man, at some point when you have all these voice actors and you do all of these productions, at some point you got to think animated series.
Maybe.
Well, Lauren's gonna be too busy for that. So.
Hey, you can always have her record her lines in patches and send them in. So there's ways to work around a busy schedule with voice actors. Just if they're really busy, just give them less lines. That's the key.
You really can't do that with a major character, though.
It's hard to do, not unless it's Master Chief, I guess. He's got that main character thing where you don't talk much.
Well, he's also a video game character where most of how you get to know the character is through blowing stuff up.
True, yeah, that's a good point. Like I heard Cortana's voice actress recorded her days in her lines in practically a day.
Not just that, Master Chief was never really intended to be a character. He was meant to be a player avatar.
Yeah, he doesn't speak in the first game, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Well, he does.
In the first one, I didn't think he's not.
He does, but you can count his lines on on both hands.
Really? Okay. So he doesn't speak very often. He's very quiet most of the time.
Yeah, that's what I think Bungie said about him. Like they never intended him originally to be a full-fledged character. He was meant to just be some. That's why they never really gave him much personality, because they wanted the players to project themselves onto him.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
It's all the supplemental material that I think fleshed out his character, like the novels and stuff. Don't you play with that?
What?
Yeah, they even had an adaptation of Halo.
Sorry, roommate's cat is playing with something he shouldn't be.
Cats are always playing with something they shouldn't be, aren't they?
Yeah, well, cats should not be playing with coax cables.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not good. That's definitely not good.
Hold up, he's got a catnip toy. I'll just throw at him.
Throw it at him. Take this, you damn cat. Play with this for a while. Chew on this. Shoot. I lost what we were talking about.
That Master Chief wasn't really a character.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was. So there's a Master Chief. There's a Halo TV show coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the interesting part is it's live action, but it's not. It's coming out on Showtime, I believe. But it's not going to be an adaptation of any of the games. It's going to be a completely new spin-off story.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Pablo Schreiber is going to be playing it, the Master Chief.
No. At least it seems like better casting than Samuel L. Jackson.
As who? Master
Chief? Yeah. They talked about how they wanted him to play Master Chief.
He'd be a good Sergeant Johnson, dude.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I could see that way more. Yeah, because he'd be perfect for that gruff, Yeah.
And also, Master Chief is a talker. One of the things that you want to see from Samuel L. Jackson is you want to see his reactions. You want to see hear his banter. You don't get any of that if he plays Mr. Chief.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. What yeah, so underutilized in that role he would be.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, hey, he's the main character, but he really likes it because you don't get to see him or hear him.
That's kind of like how didn't Nathan Fillion do a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. But he's mocapped and they threw his voice through filters. So you can't really tell.
Yeah, that's I didn't notice until I read something about it online. So yeah, that's kind of a subtle way to do it.
Speaking of which, Nathan Fillion was also in ODST.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, he's so awesome, and he was in Halo 4.
Halo 5.
Oh no, sorry, Halo 5. Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, he had at least 3 Firefly actors and 1 Battlestar Galactica actress in ODST.
Really, that many Firefly actors, huh?
They had Nathan Fillion, they had Adam Baldwin, and they had Alan Tudyk.
Oh shit.
And for Battlestar Galactica, they got Trisha Helfer.
That's awesome, man. They do a good job of getting people. Like they had the Luke Cage actor in the new one.
What's his name? Fuck.
Mike Coulter.
Mike Coulter, yeah.
Yeah, he's good. So yeah, I always like seeing those kind of cameos because they do a good job of making them look like the actors.
They even have a novel for Nathan Fillion's character.
Yeah, it's funny how that character got expanded on.
Well, it's because it's Nathan Fillion. You can't say that they didn't play on it.
You don't think so? I mean, you think so?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's an interesting point. I never thought he'd come back after ODST. But yeah, that was a good character. Good. ODST is a good game. It breaks up the gameplay really nicely. But Brett, I've been asking this kind of to the guys today. Have you been playing any time for games lately? Have you been playing anything?
Let's see. I think the last thing I played was I check my PC.
Steam account?
Just some I've already got downloaded to my PC already.
Okay.
I think I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 for a while.
Online mode or just a single player?
Online.
Nice. Yeah, the online's a lot of fun. I've been playing that on and off for a while too. The casino is pretty interesting. I heard you guys did a casino stream.
Did we?
Did you?
No, we didn't.
Oh, really? I thought maybe you there was just plans for one, I guess.
We tried to do a stream, but GTA takes up too much resources.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's pretty weird. Huh, that's too bad.
Well, it's GTA plus OBS, which is already a resource hog.
You can't use like Streamlab or something? Doesn't work like that. Yeah.
Doesn't work like that, no.
Screen share is not that advanced, unfortunately.
And right now, GTA's at almost 100 gigabytes.
That's just insane.
I'm just lucky I installed that 8 terabyte drive onto my PC recently.
Oh, by the way, I know you don't, Matt, but do you have a PS4, Brett?
I used to, but my roommate uses it now.
Well, maybe he might be interested in this. There's a flash sale going on in the PlayStation Store this weekend. I was able to pick up the new HD Hitman collection. That's $60. I got it for $23.
Interesting.
Yeah, 60% off. So a lot of good deals going on. I've been waiting for that one to come on sale, man.
Actually, speaking of online games, did anyone hear that Blizzard rolled out World of Warcraft Vanilla?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Classic mode.
They're surprised
how
successful it was.
Here's the funny part. I remember seeing on Twitter someone making a take that nobody wants this. It's old. And then right next to it, they posts how successful the relaunch of Vanilla was.
You know, that's so funny because that's a total misunderstanding from that guy. Because like the thing is, they think, oh, it's old, no one's gonna want it. But the thing is, there were so many players when the Cataclysm happened who just stopped playing because it's like I don't understand this game anymore. It's not what I was used to. So for them, it's like we're going back to what it was.
So like, what was the thing? Like, did they just was it like after Cataclysm they just got more and more needlessly?
Well, it basically reformed the entire, from what I understand, reformed the entire world and got rid of the entire all the quests and stuff. So it was like a completely different, starting over in a completely different world. And I think for some people it's just too jarring. It's like none of this is what I remember. The places aren't where they're supposed to be. So it was a big overhaul because it was like the breaking of the world or some shit like that. I don't know the lore behind it. But because I remember, because me and Matt always talk about how because we were both big Rooster Teeth fans, and so I've been catching up on the Rooster Teeth podcast for the past 5 years or whatever, and on one of the older episodes, Bernie talked about how when he stopped for a while, and when he tried to come back after Cataclysm, he just couldn't get into it because it was just too different.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people kind of dumped WoW after Cataclysm.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never got that far myself. I played for maybe 6 or 8 months after the 3rd expansion came out with the Blood Elves.
I thought that was Burning Crusade was the second. I think.
Oh, was that the second? Oh, okay.
Third expansion I think was Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, second one then. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's the time I played around was the second one.
Yeah,
but
and then they had the last expansion I remember them rolling out for WoW was Warlords of Draenor, which introduces fucking time travel of all things.
So, the Real Dragon says so they marveled WoW.
Aha!
How does he mean by that?
Okay, I'm not really sure because I don't know if it was supposed to. I don't know if that's supposed to be a hint at them going more SJW, which I don't think is where they went. I think it's just more like they just changed. It might be more like how they just changed everything up so drastically it's unrecognizable.
Interesting. I could see that.
I mean, maybe. I guess I could say it. Yeah, I guess so. Like it's just.
Like it's us moving into the next phase is like it's not the same, you know. I think that's the idea. Like you don't feel like it's the same thing you loved and grew up with or been watching for a while.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not that they went woke, it's that they changed it so drastically so as to be unrecognizable to the people who liked it.
I can see that, yeah. That's a fair point, yeah.
And it looks like Matt dropped.
Fool.
No!
Fool.
Wait a minute, Matt, no! Matt!
His internet's terrible, dude. Or something, I don't know. He has a lot of problems with 7 Days to Die as well.
Might be his internet because I'm not seeing him on the Discord either.
Of course. So I was wondering, do you want to go to 11 today or till 11:30?
11's fine by me. But
sure.
Yeah,
sounds good.
I can definitely say we're not gonna. One thing I hated fiction is when they introduce time travel. Now, I want to make one thing clear. If it's like Back to the Future, where the whole premise is built around time travel, I don't have a problem with that.
I see that. Yeah, I get that distinction. Yeah. Like, damn, it's crazy to say, and I hate to say it because I think I'm probably the only one who has this problem. But the ending of the whole movie, really, for Endgame, it kind of confuses me, and I keep trying to get my friend Zach to explain it to me, but I just don't understand it.
Yeah, that's the problem when it's like when you've suddenly introduced time travel into a world when you weren't using it before, and it's like almost 9 times out of 10. Like I said, when the premise isn't built around time travel, it seems to be more used as a get out of jail free card.
Yeah,
Because
I think you're right.
Because I can ignore all the fucking inconsistencies with time travel because when you think about it, like the moment. Here's the thing: when you really stop and think about it, the moment Marty stopped his dad from getting run over by his mom, he should have disappeared on the spot. But no, instead he's fading away. Instead he's fading away gradually. Okay, I understand. Like I said, I'm willing to let that go. No, though, because the whole movie's built around that he has this ticking time bomb that he has to get his parents back together or he's never going to exist. Okay, fine. Like I said, fine. But then you get shit like Endgame or Warlords of Draenor, where it's like you weren't using time travel before, and now all of a sudden you're using it.
Yeah, it kind of throws it off.
And not only that, it's like then it's like, are you completely changing the future or just doing alternate reality? It's like,
right. That's what my friend Zach was trying to say with Endgame. They were like, "Oh, it's an alternate timeline." I'm like, what does that mean? What the hell?
So
it's
that was how they waved away everything in the Star Trek reboot.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a weird one too.
Yeah. So like, I think we put it into the Mythoverse rules was that time travel wasn't that we took time travel off the table just because we didn't want to deal with it.
Thank God. Especially since you don't want one of the other creators coming up with something and then having to figure out how that fits in with all the other properties.
Exactly. It's just you can't do time. Yeah, you can't do time travel. You can't.
Yeah, seriously.
Like maybe at the most you could probably use magic to peer into the past, but that's about it.
That's fair. Yeah, it's a fair look at it, I think. But so yeah, so everything moving along. So you guys are still on target for the Mythoverse hitting for September. Is that right?
The 21st, yes. So yeah.
So is that a day that people should? What is that kind of a day? Is that end of production? A day we're shipping out? A day to arrive?
That's just our deadline for being done. Like
okay.
The 21st is when we should have. By the 21st, all 3 books should be done, and at that point, we will hand them off to you for the printing.
Nice, excellent, and then we shall take them from there.
Yeah. Now I know, like once it goes to the printers, it's completely out of our hands. But in your experience, Michael, like on average, how long has it taken to get a book printed?
We've transitioned into a new order system, so I'm still getting used to it. But I would say if I can get him in order, if he's not like say I try to print an order this week, he may be able to get to it this week. But let's say he's all full for this week, because that's how he's doing it now. He's doing ticket orders for the week and doing them by the week and getting them done. Then you would get it the next week, and at that point you're looking at probably, if you want to get a proof first before you print, probably 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, because you got to get the print shipped out, and I got to ship those to you guys. Then once those get approved, then you can do the final order, and once that's done, that usually takes about a week and a half to do.
So so at the earliest, we're looking at what, late October?
Probably, I would say, to be safe. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, 21st we are going to hand the books off to Wikid and expect. That's actually not bad. I mean, like that's actually not a bad time to get the books shipped. To be honest, I mean, like.
True.
So yeah, but keep this. So yeah, late October, you should be getting the books in the mail, and which is actually quite timely now when you think about it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be great for them to be able to read that for Halloween. That's great. Yeah.
But yeah, however, I mean, like if you backed us for the hoodies, those we'll be shipping those out. Because I don't know how many Dan's wife has left to finish right now. Dan and his family are out in Tennessee for his son's birthday.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's his son's 16th birthday, and guess what he gets to do?
Huh.
He gets to drive a tank, and thanks so he can drive a car.
Jesus Christ, you're kidding me.
I'm not making that up. Dan's son.
Oh my God.
Dan's son gets to crush a car with a tank.
That's 16th birthday ever, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
When I was 16, I just asked for money and I just spent it on video games.
I think I just had a party or something. I don't even remember what I did for 16.
You didn't even get a car?
No, definitely not.
I definitely did not get a car when I was 16. My parents did not want to pay for the insurance for a 16-year-old.
Really? Oh man, that's harsh. That's harsh, man.
Well, that wasn't something. It wasn't something until I found out from them that apparently it's more expensive to get auto insurance for a teenager.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
Because
the higher risk, I think, right?
Yeah, because insurance companies look at them as a higher risk.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Same thing with I guess this is kind of similar to how when you get an accident, your insurance rates can go up. You know, it's that risk factor. It's interesting. It reminds me of Have you ever heard of an anime called Master Keaton? There's also manga. It's by the creator of the manga Monster that we've been talking about recently.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically about he's an insurance adjuster salesman guy, but he does cases for fraud and other kind of things, and he also has a degree in history, and so he goes around the world doing these really interesting cases, and so it's kind of like adventure, mystery, action, and crime fiction, all thrown into one.
Interesting.
And people really like it. The anime it's got a pretty decent anime too, if you don't want to read the manga, but it's a good series.
What was it called?
He does. It's called Master Keaton. I'll type it out here because probably don't know. Most people probably won't know how to spell that. Master Keaton.
Oh. Yeah, even if he did not get a car when he was 16.
Really?
That's what he says.
That's funny. Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't think many of us did, unfortunately.
I don't think anyone gets a car when they're 16 anymore.
Yeah, that's only in the movies, I think.
Well, not unless your parents are loaded.
True. Yeah, if you're lucky, maybe.
Yeah.
But I guess we're getting close to. Well, we're at the end of the time here. What do you got going on in the near future? Both just in your life and with Changeling.
Like I said, I'm leaving it up to Victor and Ginger. Victor's down to the final third. Ginger's almost got a third of the book colored and lettered. So they're keeping a good pace. I'm pretty confident we'll make our deadline. We might cut it a little bit close, but we'll make it. And at that point, we'll hand the copies off to you for printing.
Oh yeah.
And I think around that time we'll also probably shipping the hoodies out. Which some of our backers did pay for. And it's gonna right now it's just gonna be a specialty item. Maybe we'll probably maybe we'll make it an in-demand item for our merch store, where we're still because these have to be done by hand. It's a very time-consuming process for Dan's wife.
But all that time is worth it, that labor of love right there.
It is, but that's just kind of the reality of it. Like, ideally, I'd like to be able to figure out a way to mass produce these, but because of the freaking ears, that makes it a little bit difficult. But we'll also be trying to experiment with some other merchandise, because Dan also recently picked up a 3D printer. We're gonna probably try some statues.
Nice, dude. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'll be curious to hear how that turns out.
And we'll also be, I think, we're going to be premiering the first episode of our audio cast on September 3rd.
Woo!
And like I said, we are going to be premiering 3 short stories that are set in the Mythoverse that they're not related to the main stories, but they sort of help flesh out the world. We got one called The Runaway, where Adobe, who is played by Addison again, she helps out a girl named Samantha, who is played by a new voice actress we picked up named Corinne LePage. There's My Last Night in Sacramento, which is the kind of the backstory for May's best friend Jenny. She is played by Blossom from the Kumite. And then we got a short story from Althea where Lauren is reprising her. I forget what Matt named it, but yeah. Keep an eye out on that. Keep an eye out on all the content we're trying to push out. And Shannon, we're also always doing our weekly streams on Tuesday night. So yeah, we're always trying to find something to do, but all this stuff, it's all supplemental material. It's basically the appetizer for your main course.
Exactly, man. You gotta just give them a little to whet that appetite, and then give them the meaty stuff, the juicy stuff. So yeah, man, that's awesome. I know you guys are all really excited about it, and once the book comes out, I just know you guys are gonna be so floored by it, man. You know, it's gonna be so exciting to see the reaction.
Pretty much. But let me think about yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I got nothing else. So yeah, just
I gotta process it all, man. It's gonna be a trip, man. But yeah, man. So where can people follow you on social media and other platforms?
Okay, so for me, I'm at Celtic Bread on Twitter. Matt is at Matt. I'll type him in the chat.
I'll also put them up on the screen here.
That's actually good too.
I love that feature.
It's at Matt Trin. Matt says, I don't miss stream from browsers. Haha. Matt is at Matt Trin. Dan is at Dan_Sakaro. And we have the general Mythoverse, the official Mythoverse Twitter, which is just Mythoverse Comics. Actually, no, it's just Mythoverse. Yeah, my bad.
At Mythoverse.
Yeah, at Mythoverse, and that one's just general updates and news related to the larger community. Yeah.
Nice, man. And then you guys also stream yourselves on your YouTube channel every Tuesday, isn't that right?
Yep. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST.
Nice. And did you just look up the Mythoverse on YouTube?
Pretty much.
And if you want, also you can post a link here and just jump in, follow that link, and you'll get right to them. Nice. How was your? I know you guys had some technical difficulties last week, but it looks like you guys are all set for next week.
Yeah, Dan got them fixed.
Nice, man.
He had to do a bit of a deep dive into Reddit, but he got it fixed.
Oh man, I feel for the guy. Any plans for that? You know, any plans for your next show?
Next show we're gonna be premiering the audio cast. Blossom's gonna be coming on.
Ooh, that's awesome, man. That's gonna be a good night. So damn, definitely gonna promote the hell out of that one because that sounds like a lot of fun. I'll try to make it if I can. What time is that again?
6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST.
Excellent, perfect, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you joining us for the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for being
You're
here.
welcome, man. Yeah, definitely anytime. And everyone who watched, thank you. We'll see you guys next time. And follow all these guys' amazing projects. They got a lot of cool stuff coming out.
Thank you.
And as always, signing off for Wikid Publishing. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Later.
All right.